people who have wondered how you actually take out a building in war, an individual building. And the image here is very clear that an incoming missile, hits the ground floor or the ground around, and just very spectacularly brings the whole thing down in a mess of dust and bricks.
One of the things that, so I was a weapons instructor when I was in the military, and you used to do weapons to target matching. So people imagine it's just a 1,000-pound bomb flying towards a target. There's so much more to it than that. First of all, how big a charge do you need? i.e., if you're only going against a small target and don't want to have too much collateral damage, you might use a relatively small bomb. If you don't care so much about that, you might have a larger bomb. Second one is, how are you going to guide it to the target? I know it sounds obvious, but if you're trying to hit a target there and you throw a bomb unguided, it follows a parabolic curve. But you might want it to come straight down on top of the building. You might want it to come in at the side of the building. And therefore, you need to program that into the flight plan of the guidance system for the bomb. And the third thing you want is that we traditionally expect bombs to go off when they hit a target. You might want it to go off just above the target, do what's called an airburst. You might want it to impact and go. You might want it to go quite a way into the building, because if I want to hit the third floor of a building, for example, there are lots of complex calculations you can do based on how the building is built, that you can work out what time delay you want on that explosive. So you know what speed it's going to hit, you know how it'll slow down, and therefore you want it to blow up at its precisely. So you set a time delay on the fuse. All of that is a complex.
Yeah.
So when you take a bomb, and if your objective is to collapse a building, you'll look at the structure of that building and you'll work out what you need to do to take it down.
Yeah.
Now,
interesting, yeah.
Away from that, sometimes it can just be chance. It can be that because some of these buildings aren't built that well, that you take out a couple of supports, it should really stand, but actually that's enough for it to go and just fall in. But the weapons to target matching for weapons that the Israelis have high-end weapons, there's a massive science. It takes a lot of time, but it is absolutely a science behind that.
Once you hit a building somewhere, and of course they don't particularly want to leave this chance, but once you hit a building somewhere, the weight, and you sort of dislodge the support, the weight above that point is going to bring it down anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's with the Twin Towers.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's counterintuitive. So, for example, if you want to take it a bridge, most people imagine you want to hit the bridge, but the trouble is the bridge is designed to take weight that way. So if you push it down, it doesn't generally give way easily. If you can somehow take the supports out and blow the bridge up, it moves up and then it just collapses because it's not used to doing that. So sometimes the shock waves will move a building up very slightly.
Okay.
And then when it comes back down again, it collapses.
Yeah. Because
the momentum of the floors, some of it gets stopped, but the floors are now moving down.
Yeah.
So it's so people, we imagine from films and everything like that, it's just bombs going off everywhere. There's a lot more science to it these days.